There's only one place to get more local news.
Football is a rough game and often a cruel one. Pain is inevitable.
That pain became the catalyst for both the Jets and the Patriots after their first meeting this season. But New England rallied behind a new leader, Tom Brady. And now Brady has rallied New England.
Back to throw. Touchdown! Touchdown! Mo Lewis with a tough hit on Bledsoe.
That hit exemplified the Jets season. Once overlooked and underestimated, now New York lets its record do the talking, and its defense backs it up. Jets, Patriots on CBS. It's the National Football League on CBS Sports, Week 12, and we've got a good one for you. Patriots, Jets, kickoff after this. Strange weather for December, 53 degrees at kickoff time. Jets have won the toss and will receive the football. And a look at the standings in the AFC East. The Jets and Miami are tied. However, New York's beaten Miami twice. A win today for New England pulls them to within a half game of the Jets. And a series note, 4 of the last 5 meetings have been decided by a touchdown or less. So here we go. Jets, Patriots. Adam Vinatieri ready to send it away. Craig Yeast, who's averaging 27.9 yards per return, second in the NFL, is back deep. And we're underway from East Rutherford. Here's Yeast from the 5-yard line. Yeast over the 20, and Yeast over the 25 up to the 27-yard line. Larry Izzo, the special teams ace, with the tackle for New England. Vinny Testaverde, the starting quarterback for the New York Jets. And the offense for New York 2 weeks ago, they had 162 yards of offense, their lowest yardage total in a Jets victory since they defeated Kansas City 13-10 in 1971.
And Gus, efficient quarterback play from Vinny Testaverde this year. He threw 25 interceptions last year. They've done a better job making smart passes, not taking chances.
Only 6 interceptions this season, 1st and 10. At the 28-yard line for the New York Jets. Play action on first down. Testaverde looking long. Lavernius Coles is there. Incomplete. Nice coverage by Ty Law. So let's take a look at the Jets offensively, the 3rd rushing team in the league. Fabini, Jenkins, Mawai. Randy Thomas missed 3 games with an ankle injury. He's back today, and Ryan Young. Backs and receivers, Curtis Martin 17 yards away from 1,000 yards. Richie Anderson, a Pro Bowler last year. Coles, Crabette at wide receiver. Anthony Becht is the big tight end. Herm Edwards, the first-year head coach of the New York Jets, his team rolling, most recently a 24-0 win over Miami at Miami 2 weeks ago. 2nd and 10 from the 28. Here's Martin over the left side looking for a crease and finds nothing. Nicely done, Mike Vrabel with the tackle. Defensively for the New England Patriots, they held Ricky Williams to only 56 yards rushing last week as they defeated the Saints. Hamilton, Mitchell, Seymour, Anthony Pleasant. Willie McGinnis out with a leg injury. Teddy Bruschi is in the middle today. Ted Johnson is out of the lineup as well. Vrabel and Pfeiffer. And in the secondary, Ty Law with the former Jet Otis Smith to Bucky Jones and the hard-hitting Lawyer Malloy are the safeties. So 3rd down and long for the Jets at the 29 as Bill Belichick looks on. Here's Vinny Testaverde, straight drop going up top. Santana Moss with the catch at the 40. And that's what they're looking for from the rookie wide receiver out of Miami. It's a gain of 33 yards.
And Gus, first series of the game, we've seen 2 deep passes, one to Coles, this one to Santana Moss. Welcome to the NFL, Santana. This is his first catch in an NFL game. Getting it down the sideline, you see him get pushed towards the sideline. Great job of staying focused on the ball, falling away from it, throwing a little bit behind him.
So the first catch of his career. Santana Moss played 2 weeks ago versus Miami. and finally comes up with the big play. First down and 10 from the 38. Here's Testaverde looking. Swings it out of the backfield to Curtis Martin. Martin running, and he is chopped down at the 37-yard line. And Santana Moss, he kept the football. He took it with him onto the sideline, and that's one he'll put in his trophy chest.
Well, the first one's always the sweetest, and the speed that this guy brings to this offense is phenomenal. In fact, Vinny Testaverde told me that he thinks he's actually in the high 4.2s, been clocked at 4.31, really can impact the defense, can stretch them, and the Jets are trying to get Lawyer Malloy, the strong safety for the Patriots, out of the box early because he's up there to try to stop Curtis Martin.
Second down and 8 from the 36. Here's Testaverde looking. Plenty of time now. Dances out of the pocket, fires to Wayne Corbett, who cradles it at the New England 34 in front of Ty Law. And that will bring up third down and 6 from the 34.
Wayne Corbett's had that banged up shoulder, but getting him back involved in the offense is going to be instrumental for this Jets team down the stretch. Come December, Gus, you want to be able to go to your big time players. Wayne Corbett, been a big time player for the Jets for several years now. They've got to have him operating at full steam heading down the stretch and hopefully into the playoffs if you're a Jets fan.
And 25 catches right now, had 69 a year ago. Third and 6 from the 34. They need to go to the 28 for a first down. Here's the slant. Lavernius Coles breaks open. Coles, touchdown Jets. 34 yards.
Lavernius Coles, Gus, just running a slant route, and I think Ty Law actually slips. The turf outside the numbers is a little tough, and Coles just taking the slant and going right through the seam, splitting it. And you know that slant route is a big part of the West Coast offense. We've seen a lot of slants from the Jets, but that was the first big play we've had on a slant, I think, all year.
John Hall in to attempt the extra point. 6th receiving touchdown of the year for Coles. And the extra point is up and good. Testaverde 405 on the drive, 71 yards. And Lavernius Coles had a big play 2 weeks ago. Comes out smoking today. And the Jets take a 7-0 lead. Jets coming up with the big plays, and they've taken a 7-0 lead over the New England Patriots. Ty Law burned on the play. The drive, 6 plays, 72 yards. And Hall sends it away. This is Ben Kelly from the 5. Kelly with a head of steam, and he is driven down at the 23. Jamie Henderson with a decleater. And one more look at the touchdown.
Yeah, and watch outside. Watch out here, the route, slant route, and we're going to get coverage over here to Bucky Jones is going to jump Anthony Beck. That allows Vinny Testaverde to have that lane, work that slide in there, and there goes Coles. Bang. No safety on top. That's a dangerous defense for a team that plays a lot of zone coverage. Man-to-man, no free safety.
First down and 10 for the Patriots at their own 22. Brady. And Brady steps up. And Brady tackled by Sean Ellis, who shot from the left side, coming up with the tackle, and already New England having problems to start this game. Ellis picks up his 4th sack of the season.
And Gus, we've heard so much about Abraham. Watch Ellis this time come from the right side of your screen. He's just going to get penetration right now, and the back's got to get back there. Actually, Mike Compton, the guard's got to come around. Ellis was so explosive, he went right by Compton and hit Brady before he even set his feet.
Second down and 17 from the 15. A loss of 7 on the last play. Here's Brady, the handoff. Antoine Smith, nowhere to go. First man to him, the middle linebacker, Marvin Jones. So Tom Brady is the starting quarterback for the Patriots. Took over for Drew Bledsoe week 2. And Brady 6-3 as the starting quarterback last week against New Orleans in their big win. He threw 4 touchdowns to to 4 different receivers.
And there's been some big keys for Tom Brady, partially the running game, Antoine Smith, but his patience in the pocket, being able to wait and find the open receivers, hit his backs out of the backfield. That's been a big part of his success this year.
3rd down, 16. From the 16, J.R. Redmond in the backfield. Pats need to go to the 32 for a first down. Here's the handoff, Redmond dancing, and Redmond is wrapped up at the 19. In on the play, Victor Green, as well as Jamie Henderson. So the Patriots come up empty on their first offensive possession of the game, and that brings on the punting unit for New England.
You know, one of the things Bill Belichick told us, the coach of the Pats, is they're going to have a tough time winning the kicking game today. So you're going to have to be very aware of these special teams. He really feels like the Jets have a very big advantage over his special teams in the kicking game today.
Ken Walters stands at the 5. Chad Morton at the 35. Walter gets it away. Wobbly chip. Morton to the sideline. Bobbles it out of bounds at the 45. A 37-yard punt. But Vinny Testaverde and the Jets up 7-0, and they'll have great field position.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. The Travel Industry Association of America. And by Chrysler. Drive equals love.
A shot of the great Brooklyn Bridge, and our score now 7-0. The Jets lead the Patriots. New York takes over with excellent field position. 1st and 10 at their own 45. Richie Anderson, Curtis Martin out of the offset eye. Here's Beck in motion. Martin straight ahead, the pitch back. Testaverde underneath. It's caught Coles at the 40. Laverde is out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Ty Law wrapping him up, but it's a gain of 24.
And how about this Jets offense coming out, throwing the ball? We saw him throw the ball almost exclusively in the first series. Here a little trickery. Watch the fake draw to Martin, tossing it back. Right inside, back to Testaverde. Actually, Wayne Corbett's going to have a shot initially, faking the route and then going deep. Testaverde doesn't see him, though. He catches Coles coming across the middle of the field. Man, if he would have saw Wayne Corbett early, that was a touchdown.
1st down and 10 at the New England 31. Coles, 2 catches, 58 yards already. There's Beck in motion. Testaverde finds Martin out of the backfield. He's got some running room. Tiptoes down the sideline, gets out of bounds, but picks up a first down. It's a gain of 11.
And guys, we talked at the top of the show about how the Patriots were going to challenge the Jets with Lawyer Malloy in the box, try to beat us throwing the ball. Thus far, they've been all over the Patriots throwing the ball. And this is one of the big advantages when you have Curtis Martin coming out of the backfield. Both he and Richie Anderson are as good as there are in the league, catching the ball out of the backfield. That's a huge advantage in the National Football League because you get tremendous mismatches with linebackers and safeties.
And Vinny Testaverde comes out throwing strikes. 6 of 7, 107. 1st and 10 from the 19. Testaverde again. Over the middle, incomplete. Beck had some space, but Testaverde.
And watch Anthony Beck today, because this Patriots team, we've done 5 of their games this year. They've had trouble covering tight ends. Their type of zone, they've got some linebackers banged up. That's been a real problem for them, and I think Anthony Beck could make some big plays today before this one's over.
Beck, 2nd season out of West Virginia, 26 catches on the year. 2nd down and 10. 2nd drive of the game for the Jets at the New England 19. Martin with blockers, and Martin stumbles forward to the 15. Roman Pfeiffer, the former Jet, with the tackle.
And you talked about Roman Pfeiffer, the former Jet. Part of this Patriots transformation this year has been Bill Belichick bringing in his style of players. Roman Pfeiffer, one of them coming over from the Jets. Brian Cox as well. And it's changed the mentality of this Patriots team. Look at all these starters, all former Jets right here. Otis Smith out on the corner, Cox, Anthony Pleasant, That's really changed the attitude in the locker room, because I guarantee the last 3 or 4 years, Patriots were weak mentally, and it showed on the field.
3rd and 8 from the 17. They need to go to the 9 for a first down. Here's Testaverde underneath, and it's caught. First down, Beck with the reception in traffic. And Anthony Beck, very nice grab. The chains continue to move for the New York Jets.
And with Lavernius Coles and now a healthy Santana Moss in the lineup, and also a Wayne Corbett, the king of third down, Anthony Beck has got to not be the main focus of a defense. And that's going to help him so much. It's going to take the pressure off of him. He's going to be able to just find some open space. Here he is right here in motion. He's going to come back underneath, knows where the first down marker is. Nice job of using his body. He's a big man. Use your body, shield the defender from the ball.
And the Jets pick up the first down. 7:32 to play here in the first quarter. And New York already looking for big plays. Testaverde found Lavernius Coles for a touchdown. And he has him inside the New England 10 right now. First down goal at the 9.
And Gus, they've come out and done the exact opposite of what the Patriots expected. They have not shown this all year, the Jets, and they are going to the air and being explosive.
Anderson, Martin line up in the I formation. Here's Curtis Martin over the right side, bounces it outside. Otis Smith wrestles him down, but he gets to the 4.
Oh yeah, remember me, Curtis Martin, the guy that's been carrying the offense the whole season, an MVP type season. You get all the speed, you get all these wide receivers and everybody doing big things downfield, but this is the guy that's made it happen for this team. This is the reason the Jets are 7-3.
And you said something interesting at practice on Friday. You thought these guys are just as explosive as the Rams.
And you know, they've got some young wide receivers. They are faster. Their wide receivers are faster than the Rams. And with their backs out of the backfield, they can be just as explosive.
2nd and goal from the 4. Martin straight ahead. Martin dragged down short of the goal line. He's at about the 1-yard line. Martin running into the heart of the New England defense. And tell you what, Coach Edwards, a pleasure to talk to on Friday out on Long Island, and he has put the defensive stamp on this team, but the offense to start this game getting a little better already.
And he told us, he said, hey, I want to throw the ball. I said, Coach, I hear that from coaches all the time. I want to see it. You've got some weapons. He just kind of winked. He said, we'll get it going. We'll get it going. And so I think that's one of the things as a head coach you have an issue with. You've got a couple of young wide receivers. Of course, Wayne Corbett has been around for a while, but Anthony Beck, 2nd-year tight end, and some young guys.
Lavernius Coles.
That's exactly right. You want to just give them a little bit at a time until they're ready to eat solid food.
Well, right now, the Jets eating up this New England defense. They have it at the 1. The Jets' unofficial mascot. They say they win ugly. Big play now. 3rd down and goal at the 2-yard line. Here's Martin straight ahead. Dives and is stood up. Teddy Bruschi with a tremendous hit. Brian Cox also there. And the Jets are turned away.
And Teddy Bruschi knifing through that line, getting Curtis Martin right after he gets some air. Watch 54 on your screen coming from the right side. Jump just when Curtis Martin jumps and just stuffs him right now. And Teddy Bruschi has had to fill in at the middle linebacking spot these last couple weeks. Ted Johnson, the original starter. Brian Cox has been hurt, and he's been in there pounding it out. And that's really helping him, I think, in short yardage and goal line situations.
Ted Johnson out with the leg injury. Now John Hall in to attempt the 19-yard field goal. Tupa gets it down. It's up and good. So Herman Edwards and the Jets take a 10-0 lead with 4:53 to go here in the first quarter of play.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Burger King, home of the Whopper. And by A Diamond is Forever. Show her how much you love her this Christmas.
Welcome back to East Rutherford, and the Jets take a 10-0 lead over the Patriots. Under 5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. John Hall with the 19-yard field goal. Ready to send it away. Ben Kelly, Kevin Falk back deep. This will be Kelly from the 11. Breaks it outside. Kelly. High steps to the 45. And John Hall there to usher him out of bounds, but a holding penalty called against New England. Kelly returned it 34 yards. So Tom Brady coming back onto the field.
Holding number 67 of the receiving team during the run. 10 yards, first down.
Gray Rugemer. Offensively for New England, let's take a look. Matt Light, rookie out of Purdue, Compton, Woody, and Druzzi, and Greg Robinson Randall. Backs and receivers, Antoine Smith has rushed for 100 yards in 3 of his last 4. Last week against New Orleans, 24 carries, 111, 2 touchdowns. First down 10 from the 21. Here's the pitch. Smith over the right side. And Smith gets to the 25. Stopped on the play by John Abraham defensively for New York. Abraham, what a great young player in his second year, has 10 sacks. Leads the AFC, Martin Burton and Ellis, who has a sack already today. The linebackers, these guys are really good. Mo Lewis, a Pro Bowler. Marvin Jones, veteran. James Farrier leads them in tackles. And in the secondary, Aaron Glenn and Victor Green had interceptions returned for touchdowns 2 weeks ago against Miami. 2nd and 5 at the 26. Brady out of the gun. Troy Brown picks up the first down, spins forward, and gets to the 35. A gain of 9. Mo Lewis with the tackle.
Just a quick hitch right out route to Troy Brown. Get him his touches, the leading receiver for the Patriots, to see him come back underneath. And here's the blocking downfield. Watch Mo Lewis go for that strip, though, right there. Troy Brown hanging onto the ball. We've talked about how opportunistic this Jets defense is. Stripping the ball, fighting for turnovers. They've been doing a great job of it.
First down 10 at the 35. Play action. Brady short drop. Fires it, and it's caught. Patton at the 40. A gain of 8.
Well, that name might sound familiar to a few people from New York. David Patton, the former Giant wide receiver, didn't have a whole lot of success with the Giants. And I talked to him. He said he had some back problems. And I actually said, I told him I heard that you actually slept on a bed that had a bar in the middle. It kind of bothered your back. And he said, yeah, that was kind of the story. But he went to Cleveland, came to here to New England, has had big success down the field. Great speed.
2nd down 2 at the 43. Smith breaks it back, and Smith is bottled up and taken down. Victor Green leading the way. Mo Lewis also in on the play, and they told us that they think that they can be very successful running the ball against this New York team.
And they thought they could just be more physical than this Jets defense. Thus far, it hasn't happened. And being behind 10 points on the road, it really tests your patience, because a big part of the success of this New England team this year has been Antoine Smith power running up the middle over the center and guards.
Ted Cottrell, the defensive coordinator, 3rd and short. They need a yard at the 44. Here's Smith. I don't know. I don't think he got there. Rick Lyle coming up and making the stop. And the Patriots are forced to punt.
And thus far, this defensive line for the Jets has been much more physical than the Patriots line. Watch Lyle right here take the shot, bounce outside, and get a good hold on Antoine Smith, not letting him lean forward for that first down.
So Walter standing at his own 29. Chad Morton back deep at the 10. Walter, wobbly kick, it's short. Takes a bounce, and the Patriots down it at the 11-yard line to Bucky Jones there. A 45-yard punt. 1:37 to go in the first. 10-0 New York. This week's Spotlight takes a look at the Jets defense and coordinator Ted Cottrell, who has led the team's defensive turnaround this season. It's only at NFL.com or AOL, keyword NFL.com. Jets backed up at their own 11, leading 10-0. First down and 10. Curtis Martin, the lone setback. Here's the play fake. Testaverde dumps it off. Beck with the reception, wrapped up at the 9. Mike Vrabel make it James Dearth with the reception. Mike Vrabel with the tackle. Now Monday on CBS, it's a night of great television, starting with The King of Queens, followed by Yes Dear. And Monday's #1 comedy, Everybody Loves Raymond. Then don't miss Ted Danson and Becker, followed by 48 Hours. It's all here Monday on CBS.
I guess one of the things that Jets offense has done is dictated the style of play thus far. Now we're seeing Lawyer Malloy out off the line of scrimmage. That's exactly what they want to do. Get him out of the box and let Curtis Martin start to pound it up in there.
Second down, 10 at the 11. Testaverde underneath, incomplete, flag on the play. Coles, the intended receiver. And a late flag comes in as well.
Defensive pass interference, number 95, first down.
Roman Pfeiffer.
And he nailed Lavernius Coles. Vinny Testaverde did a great job of waiting for Coles to clear that first window. There was some players in that first window, and Coles, he waited for him to get to that second window, and there was going to be a lot of running room if Roman Pfeiffer didn't knock him down. Great patience by Vinny Testaverde.
Testaverde in his 15th season, Heisman Trophy winner at the University of Miami, a New York native. First down and 10 at the 19, 8-yard penalty. Anderson, Martin in the backfield. Play action, Testaverde steps up in the pocket, throwing on the run for a bet. Did he get both feet in? Yes, he did.
Boy, and I don't know if he got that back right foot in, Gus. And now that's exactly what the side judge is saying. The head linesman actually had him dragging the foot. I think Wayne actually brought it up in the air in a ballet type move. You got to have 2 feet in with possession. There's Wayne. There's the right foot, and the right foot didn't come down. He actually got that left foot down. You got to have 2, as we know. There's 1, and that front one, that right foot, didn't get down. It was actually in the air once he caught the ball.
So it brings up second down and 10 at the 19. Corbett splits to the top of your screen. He's the slot receiver. And this time they hand it off to Lamont Jordan. And Jordan breaking over the right side gets to the 24. Roman Pfeiffer with the tackle.
And it's funny the way the Jets have approached this game today with so many passes early on. They've actually gone about it the opposite way that you would think they would have, by running the ball and keep running and running, and all of a sudden bring those safeties up into the line and then try to make something happen down the field. They've done it the opposite way, by throwing down the field and bringing the safeties off the line, and then they're going to start running the ball.
And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter, and the Jets will take it up 10-0. We'll return to Giant Stadium right after this message. Jets faced with a 3rd and 5 at their own 24. They need to go to the 29 for a first down. Testaverde dropping back. Here's the screen. Martin with blockers cuts it back, and Martin chopped down at the 27, a couple of yards short. Richard Seymour, the rookie, with the tackle.
The big nose tackle doing a nice job of coming out, reading screen, and staying with Curtis Martin after he broke it back. You don't see such a big man usually be able to stay with a top-notch running back. Seymour, the first-round draft pick of the New England Patriots, has done a great job this year for a rookie. That means when you say for a rookie, sometimes he's inconsistent. But he knows in a big game he has to play big.
Tupa stands at the 12. Brown back deep. This one off the side of his foot. And it hits a Patriot, and Brown, fortunately in the vicinity, gets lucky and downs it at the 25. A 46-yard punt. I believe it went off of the shoulder of Terrence Shaw. An early Christmas presents for the Patriots. A lot to cheer about for Fireman Eddie and the rest of the Jets fans. They're up 10-0. New England takes over. 1st and 10 at their own 26. 5-receiver package underneath. It's the big tight end, Ron Rutledge, with the catch. And he gets to the 35. Marvin Jones with the stop.
And guys, let's go back to that punt. Watch Terrence Shaw right here. The ball's going to hit off his shoulder, trying to block Nick Ferguson. There's got to be communication out there. Troy Brown jumps on the ball, but Troy's got to give that scatter call because the blocker doesn't know where that ball's going. You got to get him out of the way.
Patriots dodge a bullet. 2nd and 1 at the 35. Brown on the hit with the seam down the sideline and pushed out of bounds by Victor Green at the 47, but it's a gain of 18. Now Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator for New England, starting to spread the Jets out a little bit.
And he's going to get the ball quickly again to Troy Brown. We've seen that a couple times early. We've talked about the Jets and how great they play that zone defense. It's tough to play defense behind the line of scrimmage. Troy Brown just getting in his hands and running down the field using that stiff arm. And that's the way you get the ball in the hands of your receiver. Get it to him first step.
1st down and 10 at the 47. Brady standing, looking down the field for it is incomplete. Patton, the intended receiver. Aaron Glenn, though, going up high, comes down awkwardly, and he may be injured.
And Tom Brady and the Patriots got a break right there, because when you throw that ball and Aaron Glenn's still 3 yards ahead of your wide receiver, David Patton, that's going to be an interception 9 times out of 10. Watch the collision. Aaron Glenn, great job of going up and getting the ball, and actually flips over, lands on the back of his head. Brutal shot. David Patton was really the defender on that play, doing a nice job of breaking up the ball because Aaron Glenn was going to have an interception. Wow, and that's got to hurt, coming down on the back of your head, doing a flip in midair.
So Aaron Glenn gets up, wobbles to the sideline, back to New Jersey after this.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Saturn. Now with 2 distinctively different car lines, the L Series and S Series. Campbell's Chunky, soup that eats like a meal. And by Message from America. Visit Circuit City today to record your message.
And welcome back. Gus Johnson, Brent Jones, 10-0 the score.
Gus, if you ever get married, maybe you'll have a son sit on Santa's lap one day.
I hope so.
Hope you get married, or hope you have a son.
You put me in a tough spot right now, buddy. 2nd down and 10 from the 47. Here's Brady out of the shotgun. Brady gets it, lets it go, but he is dropped by Mo Lewis. Wow. Brady under a lot of pressure. Didn't see Lewis coming.
And Mo Lewis is going to come from out of your screen at the bottom. Tom Brady looking to the left side of the field, doesn't even see Mo Lewis coming, who has a full head of steam, and gets it off just in time because he was going to take a big shot.
Mo eased up at the end. 3rd down and 10 from the 47. They need to go to the 37 for a 1st down. Brady out of the shotgun, dumps it off, incomplete. Devin Falk, the intended receiver. So the Patriots having all kinds of problems on offense.
And I know that's one of the things the Patriots want to try to do, because the ends for the Jets get upfield so quickly. They've used a shovel pass in the first couple of games, maybe that quick screen inside underneath the penetration of the ends to try to create a cavity inside. Falk just didn't handle the ball.
Walter stands at the 38, 3rd punt of the game. Chad Morton at the 10. Gets it away. High spiraling kick. Morton allows it to go over his head. And it takes a beautiful bounce into Bucky Jones. Downs it at the 1. 46 yards on the punt. Jets have the football at their 1-yard line and a 10-0 lead here in the 2nd quarter. Curtis Martin came into this game 17 yards away from becoming the 3rd player in the history of the game to start his career with 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons. He's 7 yards away right now.
Prior to the snap, ball start, 77, offense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
That's the right guard, Randy Thomas. Let's go downstairs to Marcus Allen.
Well, Gus, after that spectacular fall by Aaron Glenn, it appears that he has sprained his right knee, and at this point, he's out of the game, guys. Back upstairs.
All right, another look. Glenn covering David Patton. And that is a big loss for the Jets. Richie Anderson pounding it straight ahead on first down. There's Aaron Glenn. First Jet defensive back to ever go to the Pro Bowl. He's got the ice on the knee.
Because usually when you see ice, you think he's not coming back into the game. If it was heat, if he was trying to loosen it up and keep it loose on the sideline, you'd think maybe he's trying to come back. But with ice, usually that's going to go ahead and freeze that spot, going to tighten up, try to keep the swelling down.
Second down, 9 yards to go at the 2. And they give it to Martin. Curtis bounces it outside, picks up the first down. Curtis Martin with a gain of 11, and with that run, Martin becomes only the 3rd player in NFL history behind Barry Sanders and Eric Dickerson to start his career with 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
Because that's when Curtis Martin is most dangerous, when he gets some vision. Watch him buy time, sliding down the line. We're looking for that hole, then bang, hits it outside, feels it going, and just accelerates outside the corner. And that's why the big part of this Patriots plan is to keep him boxed in. They didn't do it there.
And what a block by Richie Anderson on Teddy Bruschi. Here's Martin once again. Curtis Martin over the 15. Bobby Hamilton with the tackle, and Martin, a former Patriot. As a matter of fact, he and Drew Bledsoe led this team to the Super Bowl in 1997, losing to Green Bay, and he's had some good games against his former team. 5 100-yard games. This is his 8th 6-1 record. Second down, 7 at the 16. Santana Moss, the motion man. Inside handoff. Richie Anderson follows his block, crawls forward and gets to the 24. Richard Seymour with the tackle, a gain of 8.
And Gus, we've talked about the West Coast offense that Paul Hackett's brought to the New York Jets, and what is exactly involved in that, what makes it special. And I think really the thing that really brings it out in the best teams is the multiple options, having options, guys that can hurt you. And what you really want to do is get to the point where the defense says, who do we stop? How do we stop him? And if you have a Curtis Martin coming out of the backfield, you have Wayne Corbett, you have a Lavernius Coles. These guys, who do you cover? And that's part of the reason I think that this Jets offense, at least passing the ball, hasn't exploded yet, is I don't think Paul Hackett's felt that they're ready for it. They've been eating soft food. They're getting some solid food. They're calling some plays down the field. Everybody's in tune. Everybody's communicating. They're starting to call some big plays.
1st and 10 from the 24. Back to motion. Here's Testaverde looking for another big play. Moss down the sideline, broken up. Covering. Now for an update, let's go to Jim Nantz in New York City.
All right, Gus, you've seen the Ravens this season several times. They're out in front 10-3. Gerbach's 8 out of 10, including a touchdown toss here to Ayan Badejo. Ravens lead over the Colts. Manning has not been picked off to this point. Let's go back to Gus and Brent.
Ryan Billick is really going to have to throw the football now. Jason Brookins lost for the remainder of the season with a leg injury. So Obafemi and Badejo, Mo Williams having to carry the ball for the world champs. 2nd and 10 at the 24. Testaverde, quick strike, turns it upfield. He gets to the 31. He looked like Brent Jones there, catching that football, the 4-time Pro Bowler.
He might have looked a little bit faster. And Anthony Beck, we talked about the Patriots having trouble covering tight ends. That's not your main focus. And going back to the West Coast offense, you've got to worry about Santana Moss. You've got to worry about Lavernius Coles. You've got to worry about Wayne Corbett. And then, of course, Curtis Martin. So you're not thinking about Anthony Beck beating you, but they've done a great job today getting the ball a couple of times, getting some big plays down the field.
Like when you played for San Francisco, John Taylor, Jerry Rice, Ricky Waters, not worrying about.
Are you saying I was the 4th option?
Yes, you were.
I'm going to tell you, they were worried about me a little bit. Just a little bit.
3rd and 2. And Testaverde decides to call a timeout. Play clock running down. Second timeout of the first half for the Jets. Under 10 to go. New York with a 10-0 lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the United States Postal Service and by Smirnoff Ice, intelligent nightlife.
Welcome back, and Bill Belichick said it best when he said, hey, if we're going to do anything in the division, if we have any chance of winning the division, we're going to have to beat the Jets. Belichick 0-3 against his former team.
Gosh, right now it looks like an empty backfield, so here comes a pass.
Third down and 2 from the 32. Testaverde, quick strike. Anderson, driven backward by Ty Law. And let's see where his forward progress will have him short a few inches.
When Richie Anderson has to know that he's got to get enough for that first down marker. Vinny Testaverde firing the ball right on his chest.
Well, I don't know. He may have gotten it.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But you've got to always get that extra half yard coming out. You're going to see it right there, number 20. Goes ahead and gets out. Turns around, ball right there. Ty Law jumping that route. He knows where the first down marker is as well. I actually think they're going to have it by about 2 inches.
And they don't get it.
That was way off.
So they're about 6 inches short, or maybe more. 9:40 to play here in the second quarter. Jets on top of the Patriots, 10-0. Tom Tupa comes in to punt it away, and back deep, it's Brown and Kevin Falk.
And that's a big third down stop. And that's really a mental mistake by Richie Anderson. He's got to know where that first down marker is. If you need 2 yards, you've got to get 2. You can't get 1 yard and 2 feet. You've got to go the full distance. And you know that the defense knows it's coming.
So the chain gang gets off the field, and Tupa prepares to punt it away, standing at his own 19, second punt of the game. High snap, handled by Tupa. Short kick. Brown comes up, fields it at the 32, still running, still on his feet, and finally driven backwards to the 30. A 34-yard punt, tackled on the play by Nick Ferguson. Tonight on CBS, Max Bickford is the Vince Lombardi of college professors, but he's about to face his toughest opponent, his son's elementary school class. Don't miss an all-new education of Max Bickford tonight on CBS.
Because this Jets defense has made the Patriots one-dimensional thus far. Not a whole lot of success for Antoine Smith. They got to get Antoine Smith rolling if they're going to go back to doing what they do best, which is running the ball and play action.
First and 10 at the 30. Smith 4 carries, 7 yards. Here's Antoine over the left side. Antoine nowhere to go. Dropped at the 19. Marvin Jones, the middle linebacker, shooting the gap and making the tackle. So Drew Bledsoe went out of the lineup for New England week 2 after taking a hit from Mo Lewis. And boy, was it a hit. Bledsoe, instead of getting out of bounds quickly, takes the hit from Mo Lewis and suffered a sheared blood vessel. And he's been out of the lineup ever since. But he is healthy, wants to play, but right now Tom Brady owns the job as Smith runs over the right side. Victor Green with the tackle, but Brent, for a guy that's thrown for over 30,000 yards, he could sit on the sideline and pout, but he's showing a great attitude rooting on Tom Brady.
I've never seen such great class from a professional football player, and here's a guy that's a franchise quarterback. There is not one franchise quarterback that I know that would handle it with as much class as Drew Bledsoe has, and I think at least, Gus, with all he's done, he's got to at least be given the opportunity to compete for the job in practice. He's brought too much to this game and to this city.
Third down 6 at the 34. They need to go to the 40 for a first down. Underneath, it's broken up. Marcus Coleman Very nicely done, and the Patriots have to punt it away once again.
And you just see the confidence soaring in this Jets secondary. And we talked about the beginning of the year and the style of defense they were going to play, the 4-3 and the cover 2. Nobody was excited about it. Marcus Coleman, great cover 2 corner. He's very physical, very big. He fits the scheme perfectly. And I think we're starting to see this Jets secondary really come alive with their system.
Walter inside his own 20. Morton sidestepping, picks it up. Jitterbugs to the 30 and is taken down at the 33. A 39-yard punt and a 5-yard return. For the best NFL coverage on the net, including expert analysis and live scoreboards, go to cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. Giant Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. The New York Jets and the New England Patriots, members of the AFC East. This is the 84th meeting between these two teams. Jets lead the series. Gus Johnson, Brent Jones, Marcus Allen with you. Jets winning the first meeting on September 23rd, 10-3. They came out smoking early. Lavernius Coles with a big touchdown. John Hall added a 19-yard field goal, and New York leads 10-0 right now. At their own 33. Here's Testaverde stepping up, in trouble. Dances out of the pocket with running room. And Vinny gets out of bounds with the first down. A gain of 12. And after 15 years, you're not supposed to be able to run like that.
Not bad for a 38-year-old man. And one of the keys today thus far has been the protection of Vinny Testaverde. Finally, the Patriots have everybody covered. You watch Vinny step up and slide out to the right. And he says, hey, everybody's covered. I'm just going to take it. There's a big hole. Make sure I get out of bounds. Don't take any chances. And that's just another part of the option. You know, in the West Coast offense, Joe Montana, Steve Young, they made a lot of yards running the ball out of the pocket.
First down and 10 at the 45. Here's Testaverde, pumps, looking up top. Now scampers out. Wayne Corbett can't hold on. Incomplete. He had 2 hands on it. And Corbett been playing with that injured shoulder. And he may have thrown it out once again.
And he took a shot right there onto the sideline. He was just juggling that ball going out, and it just came out. And he thought he caught it. But I don't think he actually had control. You got to have possession and 2 feet, and you see the ball coming out before he gets his second foot down right there.
Ty Law with the tackle. Second down 10 at the 45. Testaverde 11 of 16, 127 with 1 touchdown. Curtis Martin the single setback. Testaverde to the sideline. Corbett shake and bake, and he gets inside New England territory at the 49, a gain of 6. And Testaverde has been throwing the ball to everybody, Brent.
And that's what we talked about, the West Coast offense having so many options. You see Curtis Martin out there catching the ball. Here comes Big James Dearth. Testaverde out of the pocket to Wayne Corbett. Anthony Beck a couple occasions. Richie Anderson. And then the big one to Lavernius Coles, splitting the same. 7 different receivers. And you've got to have the personnel to do that. I hear coaches say, hey, we're going to run the West Coast offense. That's great. Unless you have the players, it's not going to work.
3rd and 4 at the 49. Testaverde short drop underneath. Coles with another catch. And the first down for New York. A gain of 6.
And that is really the staple of the West Coast offense. And Shrek is excited about that. Because Shrek knows you got to run slants if you have 3rd and 5 or shorter.
Does he know that?
He does.
He knows it.
Shrek is the man.
Wow.
And it hasn't been a Shrek game. It hasn't been ugly for the Jets thus far. That's because Lavernius Coles has been running some big slants. You see him right there. He knows where the first down marker is. Set up the former Jet, Otis Smith outside. Come underneath. Get that ball. Vinny Testaverde putting it right on the money.
Coles, 3 catches, 63 yards, 1st and 10 at the New England 44. Here's the reverse. Coles is dropped. Nicely done. Roman Pfeiffer sniffing out the play and coming up to make the stop.
And you get the idea that the former Jet, Roman Pfeiffer, knew that was coming the whole time. penetration and staying home. Watch number 95, Roman Pfeiffer, gets upfield, stays in his area, makes the shot right there on Lavernius Coles.
Roman Pfeiffer, 11th year out of UCLA.
And Roman Pfeiffer can make some things happen, but Willie McGinnis, who's out today, that is crucial for this pass rush. He's not able to get pressure on Testaverde, and that's giving him time to make these big plays downfield.
2nd and 12 at the 46. Testaverde to the sideline. Corbett turns it up, makes the first man miss. Corbett down the sideline, out of bounds at the 20. Lawyer Malloy giving chase, but Wayne Corbett comes up with a big 24-yard gain.
And guys, we've talked about the staple of the West Coast offense being the slant. Well, the other play off of that is the drag, what we call the drag, dragging out to the flat. Makes the defensive back pick one or the other. You see Wayne Corbett out there. What a great move, sliding on that tough turf, goes right by Ty Law. It just is a decision for the quarterback. Take the most open guy. One guy's running a drag, the other's running a slant. Vinny Testaverde chose to go the drag that time, and Corbett made it happen down the field.
3 catches, 32 yards for Wayne Corbett. 1st and 10 at the 22. Play fake. Testaverde looks underneath. Martin with the catch at the 20. And is taken down at the 21. Roman Pfeiffer again, along with Mike Vrabel.
And I think that the Jets continuing to rely on their passing game has just shocked this New England Patriots defense. They just weren't prepared. The Jets hadn't thrown for over 200 yards in a game all season. You see Vinny Testaverde, 164 yards already, and we're still in the first half. I think it just really caught him off guard. They said they were going to force him to beat the Patriots defense passing the ball, and thus far they've done just that.
Martin looking around the right side and is wrapped up quickly. Roman Pfeiffer once again.
And Roman Pfeiffer's one of the guys that's come to this Patriots team and helped change the attitude. We talked about the attitude where they'd fold down the stretch or they just didn't play hard for 4 quarters. And that's kind of been the Patriots for the last 3 or 4 years. They've got a few Jet guys, a few Bill Belichick guys, guys that are locker room players that understand what it takes. Brian Cox, probably the most instrumental of all of them, saying, hey, this is what you have to do down to the stretch if you want to be a playoff team.
3rd down 10 at the 22. Testaverde looking up top for Santana Moss. Incomplete. Testaverde overthrows him, and Moss may have pulled up on the pattern.
And Vinny Testaverde did overthrow him because Santana Moss ran right by that double coverage. And I don't know if it's a huge step, but you see him set up outside versus Terrence Shaw and get right back out to the corner. And he had both Shaw and Malloy beat. And that's the speed of Santana Moss, and that is going to come in handy come December this month down the stretch for this Jets team if they continue to utilize the rookie wide receiver.
So John Hall in to attempt a 40-yarder. Ball spotted on the right hash mark. Good today from 19. Tupa gets it down. Nice hold. And it's up and good. Great job by the holder, Tom Tupa, to get that ball down. It was a bad snap.
And watch Tom Tupa. He's going to just pull that thing right back up. Don't panic. Don't make any movement. Keep your leg down so the kicker doesn't realize anything's going on. John Hall, his eyes are focused right on the spot. He doesn't even know what's going on.
2:47 to go. Jets up 13-zip. 13-0. New York leads New England. 2:47 to go here in the second quarter of play. And a look at the Jets' drive. They continue to do it. Held the ball for 5 minutes, 10 plays, covering 44 yards, and Hall with a 40-yard field goal. Vinny Testaverde has been really good in the first half. 15 of 21, 164, 1 touchdown. So Hall sending it away. Ben Kelly is back deep. Kelly from his own goal line slips. Kelly trying to get outside. And Kelly leaves his feet and goes down at the 15. Dangerous play. Tackled again by Nick Ferguson. A 14-yard run. Now tonight on 60 Minutes, remember when only artists drew profiles? Now law enforcement officers draw them too. Is that a good thing? Depends. Tonight on 60 Minutes. So Tom Brady has struggled. 4 of 8, 44 yards today. 2:36 to go in the first half. He's at his own 15. New England has 52 total yards. Here's Brady setting up, and he loses it. Incomplete. It's going to be an incomplete pass. John Abraham getting to Tom Brady.
And Tom Brady started his arm forward just in time because John Abraham slammed him and he got a break. That was almost a fumble. And Tom Brady saying, what happened? Who's blocking Abraham? Matt Light's trying to, and here comes Abraham inside mood, and Light is actually holding them the whole time, and he still gets to the quarterback.
Rick Lyle picked it up and went into the end zone. And his arm, was it going forward?
It was going forward, I believe. And you see, just that ball has to start going forward, and Gus, it was. That is the correct call. It's an incomplete pass. And I'm sure that's what Herman Edwards is saying. Hey, I think that was a fumble. But and you see the red flag. That's when that button doesn't work. You got to get those buttons working. We've seen an awful lot of red flags this year. If the button on the coach's side of his pants doesn't work, they go ahead and throw that red flag. And here's the rule, Gus. When the quarterback's arm starts forward, when he's hit, even if the ball comes out, once that arm is starting forward, it's an incomplete pass. Now, if the ball is out before it starts forward and the arm still comes through forward, but there's no ball, the open hand rule, then it would be a fumble. But that's not what happened. Brady still had possession of the ball and his arm was going forward. They're going to call that an incomplete pass.
So it's being reviewed right now. Another look. Brady's arm clearly going forward.
And what a shot he took from John Abraham, who has been the speed rusher on the edge for the Jets this year, coming into the game with 10 sacks. And you think of him as being able to make something happen outside. That time he went inside versus Matt Light, changed it up. He told us yesterday, I'm going to have to change some of these things up versus Light. I played against him once already, and I think I might be able to beat him on that inside power move. And the strength of John Abraham just taking Matt Light right back to the quarterback while Light was holding him and still delivering that much of a blow is unbelievable. And Gus, one of the biggest problems is even if you challenge this and they do rule it's a fumble, that whistle had blown. And so it clearly isn't going to be a touchdown. We've had those inadvertent whistles this year. And at what point did the whistle blow? Did it blow to say it was incomplete? And if that's the case, it doesn't even matter if it's a fumble because the whistle blew.
After reviewing the play, the ball is secure in the passer's hand and coming forward. By rule, that is a forward pass. Incomplete. Rolling on the field stands. Second down.
Just as you said, partner. So that'll make it second down for the Patriots at the 15.
And let's take one more look at it, Gus. And one heck of an effort by Abraham. But here's Tom Brady, and you see his arm starting forward, and the ball is still there. So when the ball is in the hand, when it starts forward, even if he's hit and comes out, it's an incomplete pass. Now, if that ball was grabbed or knocked out before it started going forward, and then it went forward with the open hand, no ball in it, then it would be a fumble. And they call that the open hand rule. And the referees are right on top, the officials right on top of that play.
So the Jets are now out of timeout since the ruling on the field stands. And the Patriots have it at their own 15, but they haven't been able to get anything going offensively in this first half. Brady 0 for his last 5. They hand it off. And it's Redmond. And Redmond gets over the 15 to the 17. Rick Lyle with the tackle. And this is what Drew Bledsoe went through for the past couple of years. And it's what Tom Brady is experiencing right now. No offensive line, no running game. Makes it awfully hard to look good. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning with the Jets up 13-0. Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights. No highlights for the Patriots in the first half of play thus far with 2 minutes to go. Jets on top 13-0.
Crucial third down here for the Patriots, Gus, and in crucial situations this year, Tom Brady has always looked for Troy Brown. I'm sure the Jets are plenty aware of that.
Brown lines up as the wideout at the top of your screen. 3rd and 7 at the 18. They need to go to the 25. Here's Brown. Cuts inside, spins forward, and picks up the first down. An 8-yard gain. Rick Lyle with the tackle. Troy Brown second in the AFC in receptions. Came into this game with 70. Has 2 today for 27 yards. Hurry-up offense for the Patriots with 3 timeouts remaining. Brady loses it. And it's covered up. John Abraham again in on the play. Damian Woody covering up the ball.
And Gus, I didn't hear a whistle that time. And I actually think that one time we had the open hand rule. I think actually that ball might have come out, stripped out before he started his arm forward.
The ball is ruled a fumble recovered by the offense. The flag was for an ineligible touching a forward pass. It is not a forward pass, it's a fumble. So there's no foul. Second down. New England ball.
You know, you can go a whole season without seeing either of those, and we see 2 almost back to back. Here's Tom Brady, the pressure. Here comes Abraham again. He actually gets the ball before his arm starts forward.
Brady, and it's batted down, Sean Ellis. And right now, the Jets' 2 ends are causing so many problems for this New England team. Ellis with the sack today. And Abraham has been in on the last couple of plays as well.
And I think one of the things the Jets do a great job of, you're going to see Ellis do it here, tip balls. I don't think there's a team in the league that has tipped more balls at the line of scrimmage than the New York Jets. Herman Edwards has his defense ready to go. Ted Cottrell, they all teach it. You got to time it.
There's Coach Edwards. 3rd and 17 at the 20. They need to go to the 37. Draw play. J.R. Redmond lowers his head and gets to the 30. A 10-yard gain, but short of the first down. James Ferrier in on the tackle, and once again the Pats are forced to punt it away with 1:04 to go.
And really the story of this first half for the Patriots offense has been the Jets defense domination at the line of scrimmage. They have just been completely outmanning them across the board.
And this is where the timeout would have been so important for the Jets. They are out of timeouts with 47 seconds to go.
And they lost that last one here a couple minutes ago on the challenge.
Walter milking the clock. High wobbly kick. Morton. Fair caught at the 37 to Bucky Jones covering. A 33-yard punt. And with 29 seconds to play here in the first half, the Jets will get it. A flag on the play.
I guess there was some contact there after the fair catch. But I actually believe the Jet blocked the Patriot defender into the returner. No matter what they call, though, Gus, I think that the Jets still have some time. I know they have no timeouts, but you still can take a couple of chances down the sideline, get out of bounds, maybe get another field goal before halftime.
The player was blocked into the fair catcher. There is no foul.
All right. You have been on the money today.
I think Nick Ferguson takes his own guy to Bucky Jones, just going one-on-one with Ferguson into Morton. And that's exactly what they call. Ferguson's been all over the field today.
So what do you do right now if you're the Jets?
Well, you know, I talked about maybe taking a shot. I don't know, you're playing at home, 13-0. I think the smart thing is to just go ahead and run out the clock at this point.
And the Patriots call a timeout with 29 seconds remaining. So we'll step away. Jets with the ball and the lead. Coming up on the Nextel Halftime Report, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights. And this game right now being won, Brent, at the line of scrimmage.
Just the Jets crushing the Patriots on both sides of the ball. Not as many rushing yards for the Jets offense, but nobody's touched Vinny Testaverde all day in the pocket.
Curtis Martin lines up as the single setback. Moss in motion. Here's Martin over the right side with the big running lane. Martin breaking it at midfield, gets inside New England territory. But I don't know if the Jets can get back to the line of scrimmage quickly enough. 15 yards on the play, and they do. Vinny Testaverde wants to throw it, looking up top. Incomplete. With 6 seconds to go, Santana Moss, the intended receiver.
Boy, and I love that call. They were willing to go ahead and run out the clock. Curtis Martin got some big yards, so they get up to the line of scrimmage, and everybody thinks you're going to spike the ball. And the Jets, they have this play on. They make a hand signal. You call it like you're going to spike it, and you're going to see Santana Moss outside. Go ahead and just get outside the defensive backs. Has a chance. Testaverde delivers it right in his chest. The rookie should have hung on to that one. That would have been a big play, giving him a shot for a John Hall field goal.
Patriots in the prevent defense. And they call another timeout with 6 seconds to go.
And I'd say it's a prevent defense. They have 3 defensive backs down on the goal line. There's the big 3 right there.
So let's talk, though, about this Patriots offense unable to get anything done. Last week they scored 34 points against New Orleans, but a different story this week against the Jets.
Well, it's really predicated on Antoine Smith getting his carries, getting some yards, and then all of a sudden they're using it, the play-action game. And their offensive line has done a great job this year protecting Tom Brady, and a big part of that is because you don't know if it's going to be run or pass, so their play-action game is a big part of it. When you don't have a running game, play action doesn't mean squat. The Jets defenders, they're not going for a fake run. Hey, try to run it against us. You haven't even come close all day. So all of a sudden you get Ellis and Abraham teeing off outside, and here comes the pass rush, and Tom Brady is getting big pressure.
Doesn't mean what?
Squat.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I was clear there.
They don't talk like that in the streets of Detroit, huh?
No, not at all. All right, here we go. They line up the far side of the field with 3 receivers, 1 on the near side. Here's Testaverde. He's going to let it fly to the sideline, incomplete, with 1 second to go.
And, you know, you might be at home thinking, hey, what are they doing that for? But what the idea was, go ahead and overload the one side of the field and take Lavernius Coles, run him on a deep out route, try to get him out of bounds with 1 second, and bring in Big John Hall for the big field goal. And now I think, now the Patriots are playing the 8-man deep. We've talked about the 8-man in the box. How about 8-man in the end zone? We got to get a shot of that in the end zone. They're all over the place. Yeah, now I just hand it to Curtis Martin and see if he can maybe get in the end zone.
Here's Testaverde setting up. Testaverde under pressure, and it's stripped into the hands of Martin. Here's Martin at the 30, running, and slips down at the 20-yard line.
Hey, see, they eventually did get it to Curtis Martin, see if he could run it in.
They certainly did.
The hard way.
And that's the end of the first half of play. With the score 13-0. The Jets on top of New England. We'll have Jim Nantz in New York after this. Time, and the Jets are shutting down the Patriots 13-0. Hi, everybody. Gus Johnson, along with Brent Jones. The Jets have come out with a great plan on both sides of the football.
Well, it's been great to see that Jet offense start lighting it up, throw the ball downfield. Vinny Testaverde has hit 7 different receivers, really caught this Patriots defense offside. And look right here real early, Santana Moss. Great job of concentration, getting pushed away. The momentum on that first drive was with the Jets. And here comes Lavernius Coles on the slant, going right past the safety to Bucky Jones. Big touchdown, and the momentum was all Jets from that point on.
All right, a look at the statistics. What jumps out at you?
Well, obviously the total yards are significant. Of course, Jets dominating, but the time of possession, the Jets have been able to maintain drives. This Patriots team haven't been able to convert on third downs.
Tom Brady has had a tough day thus far.
Well, without a running game, it's tough to have protection. He's taking some brutal shots. Abraham, Ellis, everybody is all over. You see Ellis batting down the ball. And John Abraham just smacking Tom Brady, and it's been a very tough half in the pocket for Tom Brady.
Sacked twice, hurried 3 times, knocked down 4 times. The Jets have also batted down 2 balls. So we're ready to start the second half of play. New England will receive the football. What do the Patriots have to do to get something going offensively?
Well, they're going to have to at some point start throwing the ball, and that's really scary because it's been really part of the first half. They haven't had much of a running game. You're going to have to start taking some chances. Well, that's when this opportunistic Jets defense does what it does best, and that's create turnovers. Let's see if Tom Brady gets rushed. He's going to have to get the balls to his playmakers. Troy Brown's caught 3 passes, Gus, in the first half, all at the line of scrimmage. That was the only way they could get him the ball. This Jets defensive secondary has been all over the Patriots wide receivers.
John Hall tees it up. Kevin Falk and Ben Kelly are back deep. So here we go. Second half underway. Kelly from the 1. Kelly. High steps out of bounds as he crosses the 25 up to the 29, a 27-yard return. So in the first half, no success for this New England squad. And the furthest New England got in that first half in Jets territory was to the Jets' 47-yard line.
Getting a lot of pressure. They've run a lot of screens this year. I've only seen 1 today. Maybe take a few more chances with some screens and draws here early in the second half.
First down 10 from the 29. Here's the pitch. Antoine Smith running over the right side, and Smith in the first half 6 carries, 11 yards. We mentioned Tom Brady struggled in the first half of play. Here's the quarterback comparison.
And Vinny Testaverde's been so efficient, and Tom Brady, on the other hand, hasn't been able to get a whole lot of cracks, been getting a lot of pressure, and that's caused some sacks, fumble, and you see not very big yardage for this Patriot quarterback.
Second down 10 at the 29. Play action. Brady looks backside. Edwards with the catch. Edwards being chased, and he is wrapped up at the 24. Shane Burton, the big fella, 6'6", 312, chasing down Edwards.
And that is a big fella, and that's one of the guys we haven't talked about today, Shane Burton. He's batted down 9 balls coming into this game today. Been a big part of the resurgence of this Jets defense. He, along with Steve Martin. I saw these guys, Gus, on Monday night versus my old team, the 49ers, and they couldn't tackle, and people were running at will versus the inside of this Jets D-line, and all of a sudden, Burton and Martin have turned up the heat these last 4 games.
3rd and 14 from the 25. They need to go to the 39 for a first down. Abraham and Brady sacked again. Abraham came hard around the corner, and Steve Martin gets to him.
And we were just talking about Burton and Martin, and here comes Martin. He said, hey, let me in on this deal. And we talked about Vinny Testaverde spreading the ball to 7 different receivers. How about this Jets defense? Everybody, Ted Cottrell's defense, everybody's getting a piece of it. We've seen Lewis, Abraham, Ellis, Martin. Look at the shot, and and you see the Patriots are trying to roll that pocket, get Brady out of that 7 yards deep, not helping him.
And this is a short kick. No flags on the play, and it bounces out of bounds at the New England 35. No flags. Walter under pressure. Nice job by Torrey Woodbury, a backup quarterback, attempting to block it.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Fireman Ed getting them ready. And the Jets have it at the 36-yard line of New England. Martin in motion out of the backfield. Inside handoff, fools nobody. Richie Anderson swarmed under. Nice looking play by number 96, Brandon Mitchell. And Vinny Testaverde has spread it around.
And we talked about the West Coast offense. What really makes it tick? It's personnel. It's multiple options. You see Vinny Testaverde using all his options today. And we said, hey, so many coaches come in and say, yeah, we're going to run the West Coast offense. Well, that's great if you don't have speed and a tight end that can catch and backs that can catch the ball in the backfield. You're not going to get anything done.
2nd and 13 from the 39. Loss of 3 on the last play. Corbett in motion. Testaverde. Batted and picked off. Vrabel. And Mike Vrabel at the 40. And finally something goes right for New England. A 12-yard return. Mike Vrabel, his 2nd interception of the season.
And just like you said, first break for this Patriots team. Batted balls, and we've seen him on the Jets defense. Here we're going to get one from the Patriots side of it. Brandon Mitchell jumping and timing it just right. Vinny Testaverde had Lavernius Coles on the hook route. Had some good spacing. It was going to be wide open, but you can't do anything against a batted ball.
Only the 12th turnover of the season for the New York Jets. They came into the game 2nd in fewest allowed, behind the Oakland Raiders at 10. Now Brady underneath, Patton with the catch, and he is crushed by Victor Green. And Patton gets up a little woozy.
And Victor Green's one of the guys that has really adjusted to this new style cover 2 Jets defense, and he's been so used to being that 3 lightning safety, which is when you're up in the box making tackles, very physical. And now in the cover 2 defense, you got to stay back, you got to stay deep, you can't let receivers get on top of you. He's starting to get used to that.
2nd down and 3 at midfield. Brady throws it out of the backfield. Smith with the catch. He won't get the first down. He's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Mo Lewis right there. Mo Lewis, a 3-time Pro Bowler, 98, 99, and 2000. And he is in his 11th season with the Jets out of Georgia.
And it's amazing that Mo Lewis in his 11th season can still run that fast. And Bill Belichick told us that this trio of linebackers could go to the Pro Bowl and nobody would bat an eye. And really, it's built on speed. Marvin Jones in the middle doing a nice job. But Ferrier and Lewis and the quickness, you see these Patriot receivers aren't getting any yards because they're out tackling them before they can even take a step.
3rd down and 3. Brady firing underneath, and it's caught. Coleman breaking it towards the end zone, and he's downed at the 5. Fred Coleman with the spectacular catch and run. It's a gain of 46.
I guess this is our 5th Patriots game, and we're going to see Fred Coleman run a slant right here and get the ball delivered right in stride, and that's the key, and he's off to the races. We haven't seen him catch a ball all season, and he's got some good wheels running away, Ray Meckens, and that's his first catch of the year, and a big one at that. Brings the Patriots right back into this game, a game totally dominated thus far by the Jets.
First down goal at the 4. Timeout called by New York. 10:27 to play, 3rd quarter. Back to New Jersey after this.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. Nike. And by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Santa working on weekends, working overtime at the Paramus Mall today. Ted Cottrell, he's in a grumpy mood right now. 1st down and goal for the Patriots at the 4. Brady, and it's batted down again. Shane Burton. And that'll bring up 2nd down and goal.
Continues to do that, and there's nothing more frustrating for a quarterback that with an open receiver to have the ball batted down or tipped.
And the Jets defense has allowed only 2 touchdowns in their last 19 quarters, 0 in their last 6, dating back to the Kansas City game 3 weeks ago. So here we go, 2nd and goal at the 4. Antoine Smith, the deep man. Edwards, the up cut. Draw play, Smith, straight ahead. Touchdown, Patriots. And that will get you going. The big play, though, Brady to Fred Coleman for 46 yards.
And let's watch Antoine Smith pound it up in there. Little draw action. You see Matt Light take John Abraham out of the play, getting depth. And that's part of this Patriots plan. It was part coming in that those defensive ends for the Jets get wide so much that we're going to use some draw action and come on underneath them. That's exactly what happened right there.
Extra point is up and good. So with 10:19 to play here in the third quarter of play, Antoine Smith makes it a 13-7 game. Antoine Smith claimed his 8th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Patriots go on a 5-play, 57-yard drive after the turnover. From the 15-yard line, it's Craig Yeast. Yeast trying to get outside and does. And Yeast is wrapped up by the kicker, Adam Vinatieri. Yeast with the burst of speed gets to the 34. Vinatieri with a saving tackle. Maybe the fastest kicker I've seen this year. Now, we've got a great Saturday next week for you on CBS. First, it's a CBS Sports Spectacular, Nature Valley Alpine Cup, then NCAA Hoops. We've got a doubleheader, Duke at Michigan, followed by North Carolina at Kentucky. And then at 8 o'clock, it's SEC Championship action presented by Dr. Pepper. First and 10 at the 48. Here's the pitch to Martin. Martin shredding through the New England defense and gets to the 39. Brandon Mitchell with the tackle, but it's a gain of 13 yards.
And I think the Jets, after that last tip ball and turnover interception, they're going to go back to what they do best. Run Curtis Martin on the toss, let him be able to see the field, have some vision, pick his hole. Watch him cut back up into the hole. Nice job lowering his shoulder, protecting the ball. And I think it's time for a little heavy dose of Curtis Martin, because we don't know if the Patriots can stop him, because the Jets have been throwing the ball all day.
First and 10 at the 39. Here's Beck in motion. The pitch. Martin squares his shoulders, dances, breaks down the sideline. And Curtis Martin starting to eat away at the New England defense. Gain 16.
Just running the toss, the other side, the same play that we just saw, this time going to the right. Richie Anderson getting the kick out block. Watch Curtis Martin pick his hole, bounce back outside. They weren't able to box him in. That was a big part of the strategy today. And now, if you're the Patriots, you're going to have to bring Lawyer Malloy back up into the box, and that makes you susceptible versus the pass. That's the dynamic of having a running back and speed on the outside.
11 carries, 67 yards. Martin in motion out of the backfield. They find him on the hitch, and he's wrapped up. Guess who? Roman Pfeiffer has been all over the field today, having an outstanding game. And with 8:40 to go here in the third quarter, our score 13-7. Romeo Crennel trying to figure out this Jets offense. Pfeiffer with 8 tackles. Makes it 2nd and 13 at the 25. Jets need to go to the 12 for a first down. Testaverde under pressure, and he's sacked. Second of the day, this time Bobby Hamilton, the former Jet.
Now, Vinny Testaverde hadn't been getting much pressure all day, and all of a sudden the floodgates open. It looked to me like the linemen just let him go. They thought the ball was going to be away. We got a stunt coming outside, and the right side of the Jets offensive line. Thomas had some trouble, as well as Kerry Jenkins. Got to stick with your blocks.
Bobby Hamilton in his 7th year with the sack. 3rd and 22 from the 34. They need to go to the 12. Here's Jordan around the right side. And Jordan swarmed under at the 32-yard line. Roman Pfeiffer in on the play. Jordan, a rookie out of the University of Maryland.
And Gus, they're going to try a long field goal here with John Hall. Of course, he has the leg to be able to do that, but what a momentum swing if he misses it. The Patriots will have the ball right about the 40-yard line.
He's got a very strong leg, is long on the season. 51 yards. He's 1 of 2 from 50 and out. And this one from 50. He's got the leg strength, but does he have the accuracy? Oh! Put it on the board. And he had plenty of room.
And you talk about faith in your kicker, Herman Edwards.
16-7 Jets.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. And by American Express, wishing you all the best this holiday season.
A 50-yard field goal by this man, John Hall, gives the Jets a 16-7 advantage as you take a look at the scoring drive. Hall sends it away. Ben Kelly inside his own 5. Kelly is taken down at the 19. Jason Glenn with the tackle, a 13-yard return. Big kick for John Hall and a pretty big call for Coach Edwards.
Yeah, and I thought it was a gutsy call. The momentum had obviously swung to the Patriots side of the ball, and John Hall just drills it. It was never a question. You see him put his arms up right away. But after letting the Patriots back into the game, if he misses a 50-yard field goal, which is no gimme in this league, the Patriots have the ball at the 40-yard line with a touchdown, go back on top.
So Edwards gambling, it pays off. 1st and 10 at the 18. Quick strike, Brown to the sideline, pushed out of bounds by Victor Green at the 21.
It's just amazing to me that Troy Brown has 4 catches and he's caught them all at or behind the line of scrimmage.
What does that mean?
That means that the Jets are really defending him. They've got a lot of double coverage on him. They're bumping him. They're putting somebody on him. They're watching him. They know that he's Tom Brady's go-to guy. And so for them to get the ball in his hands, the Patriots have to get him the ball right now behind the line of scrimmage. A lot of screens, pitches.
Empty backfield. Brady underneath. Here's Brown, lowers his shoulder and gets to the 32. James Ferrier and Marvin Jones combining on the tackle, but it's a gain of 10.
Troy Brown finally catching the ball on the Jets side of the line.
He's a tough little guy, though, right?
Rookie route. Yeah, he is a tough guy. Very aggressive, very physical for a wide receiver. Runs very precise routes. That's the key for Troy Brown's game. Does a great job finding holes in zone coverages.
5 carries, well, 5 receptions rather, 50 yards. 1st and 10 at the 32. Empty backfield once again. Brady to the sideline, caught out of bounds. Patton in front of Marcus Coleman. Read NFL.com for in-depth analysis from Marv Levy and Phil Simms. Get the inside scoop all week long at NFL.com or AOL, keyword NFL.com. 2nd down and about 8.5 for the Patriots at the 33-yard line. Brady out of the gun. Once again, Brown on the hit, and he's drilled. This time it's Ray Mickens, who's made his living as a nickel back, and he came up hard and strong.
Well, they've seen Troy Brown catch that ball 4 times out there. They're not going to be fooled the 5th time. Ray Mickens exploding on that ball. And you see how Troy Brown's catching it behind the line of scrimmage on that flanker screen. And when you have a corner that's aggressive as Mickens, he's just going to come out and follow him and take a shot at him.
Makes it 3rd down 9 at the 33. They need to go to the 42 for a 1st down. They're on their feet at the Meadowlands. Brady underneath, Smith with the catch. Antoine Smith breaks free down the sideline. Antoine Smith pushed out of bounds at the 25 by Victor Green. But what a play. Brady to his starting tailback. A 40-yard gain.
And Tom Brady was just patient, waiting for Antoine Smith to come open. Smith gashing the Jets in the passing game, coming across the middle. Now watch this explosion right there. I didn't think he had the speed to get through these Jets linebackers. He runs right by him Huge play for the Patriots.
Antoine Smith playing like a man on a mission this season. Signed a 1-year, $500,000 contract with New England, coming over from Buffalo. 1st and 10 at the 27. This time it's Kevin Falk. The change of pace back gets to the 20. Victor Green with the tackle. And let's take a look at Tom Brady's numbers by half. He settled down here in this second half of play.
Well, just a couple of big passes. We saw Antoine Smith and then the slant to Fred Coleman. 2 big plays accounting for most of that, and that's putting the ball in the hands of your receivers and letting them do something. And they've been quick routes because Tom Brady hasn't had a whole lot of time to throw the ball.
2nd down 4 at the 21. Inside, here's the pitch. It's Falk on the little option play, and Falk gets inside the Jets 10. So they fake the dive to Edwards and pitch it to Kevin Falk, and he picks up 13.
And let's watch the fake inside with the pitch. There's the fake to Edwards, the pitch outside. You see Lyle coming inside. That opens up that hole. Going with the fake. Victor Green make the tackle, or else it's a touchdown.
Patriots have scored touchdowns on 5 of their last 5 opportunities inside the red zone. 1st and goal at the 8. Kevin Falk turns it up and gets to the 4.
Kevin Falk doing some damage on the ground. He's really been more of a receiving threat for the New England Patriots, and they're taking him out of the game, bringing Antoine Smith back in, and Kevin Falk's upset. He says, hey, I'm hot. Coach, leave me in. I'm gashing these guys.
But they want to bring the power back in. Antoine Smith lines up as the deep man. Mark Edwards in front of him. 9th play of the drive that started at the 18. Smith goes in motion. Edwards picking his way. Touchdown, New England. Mark Edwards with some hard running.
And this is the last guy who talked about all the threats. Mark Edwards not getting a lot of carries. Bounces it outside. Look at that block by Troy Brown on John Abraham. A wide receiver on a defensive end, enabling Mark Edwards to get outside and put his head down and get up into the end zone.
First rushing touchdown of the season. The extra point is up and good. So here we go. 2:11 to play in the 3rd quarter. Jets on top of the Patriots, 16-14. Patriots refusing to go away. 16-14, Jets on top of New England. They send it away, and it's picked up by Soul. And Soul gets it to the 30-yard line, a 5-yard return. And another look at the touchdown by Mark Edwards, his first rushing touchdown of the season.
And guys, watch Rick Lyle, the defensive end. He's going to slant down. Then Victor Green's going to come into your screen. He's responsible for that gap. Watch Troy Brown come in from the wide receiver position and take Victor Green right there. That's the hole. Then Mark Edwards gets his momentum, his head down, and drives Mo Lewis into the end zone.
And a look at the drive, 82 yards, but they've gone on back-to-back touchdown drives, 57 yards, now 82 yards, and the Patriots are within 2. 1st and 10 at the 30. Curtis Martin with a big opening, stumbles and gets to the 34. Now, which new arrival has made the most impact on his team this year? Brent, I'll let you answer it. Doug Flutie, Jerry Rice, Antoine Smith, Ted Washington, or Aeneas Williams? Just log on and cast your vote at NFL.com.
Ooh, it's tough to pick against my old buddy Jerry Rice. But I'm going to say Antoine Smith. I think he's been the guy thus far this year that's changed this Patriots mentality from an average team to a very physical team with a new locker room, a new attitude.
2nd down 6 from the 34. Becht in motion. Testaverde firing. Quebec cradles the ball at the 41. They give him the catch. It's a gain of 7. And a first down for the Jets.
And Gus, we haven't called Wayne Corbett's name enough today. They've got to find more ways to get him the ball. We've talked about spreading it around, and he does have 4 catches, but he is so instrumental. He's the guy to go to. And I know he's been banged up. He's had his shoulder problem, but look at the big drop-off between last year and this year.
Why?
Especially in the end zone. I don't know. I'm not calling the plays. I just know we can make some things happen.
So you're pointing towards Paul Hackett, the offensive coordinator. Here's Curtis Martin. Martin bottled up and taken down at the 40. Roman Pfeiffer. He's got about 10 tackles today.
And you can see this Patriot defense all of a sudden with new momentum. They're starting to attack the ball carrier. They're swarming to the ball. They weren't doing that in the first half. They weren't even doing it early in the third quarter. That's what momentum does for you. They were defeated. They bounced back. That's what we've talked about, this new Patriot attitude this year.
And that will take us to the end of the third quarter with the score. The Jets 16, the Patriots 14. We'll return to Giant Stadium right after this word from your local station. New England with 14 points in the third quarter of play, and the Jets are holding on to a 16-14 lead. So Vinny Testaverde and the Jets offense break toward the line of scrimmage at the 40-yard line. Curtis Martin, the deep man. Play clock winding all the way down.
Delay of the game. Offense. 5 yards. Second down.
Now, how do you do that after a timeout?
You tell me.
I don't know again.
And that's what the head coach is saying, Herman Edwards.
Somebody's going to the principal's office on Monday.
Yes, he calls his office the principal's office.
And you don't want to go unless you're uninvited and just stop by. You don't want to be invited
into the principal's office. Second down, 16 at the 35. Martin over the right side, and Martin taken down at the 39. A gain of 5, but this game really important, and not just for the division.
No, for everybody, and especially you got the Jets and Miami at the top. Of course, the Jets have 2 wins over Miami. That's like having a full game lead. And if the Jets are able to take out New England today, they would have both victories against them. That would assure them if there's a tie for the division, they would get it. And you see all the battles in there in the wild card. And Gus, I really think the wild card is gonna come from the East this year.
And Denver is leading Miami right now in the fourth. 11 minutes to go on the road. 10-7. Third down 11 at the 40. Testaverde. And it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Flag on the play. And Richard Seymour, I believe, is the defender that batted it down.
And Richard Seymour saying it's against the Jets. The Jets are saying it's against the Pats. Most likely a holding.
Offside. Number 44. Defense.
Now, Mark Edwards doesn't play defense, Gus.
Oh, come on. Give the officials a break. They've done a terrific job today.
He was on the bench. Maybe he was offside, but he was sitting down.
It's to Bucky Jones, number 34.
And it's actually
that Ty Law.
Ty Law coming across right here and actually lining up. Now, Ty Law, when you're blitzing, he knows better. He's a veteran, one of the top cover guys in this league. Crucial third down. You can't line up off sides. He's just jumping the gun there a little bit.
So it makes it 3rd and 6 from the 45. Jets 4 of 10 on third down conversions. They need to get inside the 50. Empty backfield. 5 receivers. Testaverde on the quarterback sneak. And that fooled everybody.
And when you said it fooled everybody, it even fooled the offensive line, the wide receivers, the Jets. Nobody knows this is going to happen. Look at this gap between the tackles. This is a touch. What Kevin Mawai is going to get from Vinny Testaverde is a goose. And that's one of the things that you don't necessarily want to feel. But when you're a center and a quarterback, you kind of have that relationship. It's just a goose. And there it goes. And Mawai's leading the way. And Vinny's smart enough to slide.
First down and 10.
Now Don't try to goose me over.
46. No, you don't have to worry about that. Here's Testaverde in trouble, and Vinny Testaverde sacked by the rookie, Richard Seymour. But our veteran is in New York. It's Jim Nantz with an update.
All right, we have an update down Miami way. It's the rookie again, Chris Chambers. He's been hot the last month. Hauls it in for the Dolphins' first points of the day. 10-7 Broncos with 10 minutes to play. And let's go back to Gus and Brent.
And Dave Wannstedt told us early in the season that Chambers might eventually be their best wide receiver as the season goes along. And I think you're starting to see that in Miami.
He could certainly help. Aronde Gadsden and James McKnight, 2nd and 16 from the 48. Martin bottled up and driven to the field. Bobby Hamilton. And when we talked to Bill Belichick yesterday, he told us that Curtis Martin loves to take pitches. He loves draw plays. We've got to take that away from him.
And what they want to do is go ahead and bring those defensive ends up the field and box Curtis Martin in so he doesn't have anywhere to go outside. Box him in so he has to cut back. And then you got your big dogs. Richard Seymour, Roman Pfeiffer, Anthony Pleasant in there to make the play.
3rd down, 19 from the 45. They need to go to the New England 36 for a first down. 4-receiver package. Testaverde. Underneath, it is incomplete. Santana Moss, the intended receiver, slipped on the play. And the Jets have to punt it away.
And Gus, the field is a little slippery out there, especially outside the numbers where Santana Moss was making his break. The middle of the field, down the middle, actually is some nice turf. It's a little shorter, it's padded down, and you got better footing, but outside the numbers, it's a little longer, a little more divoted, and there's not great footing.
Tupa stands at the 30. End over end kick. Takes a bounce, and the Jets jump on it at the New England 34. A 22-yard punt. The Jets think that it hit off of a New England player. I don't believe it did. 12-16 to play in the 4th. We've got a 2-point game at the Meadowlands. Tonight, CBS and the Jim Henson Company present a television event of gigantic proportions. Matthew Modine leads an all-star cast in Jack and the Beanstalk, The Real Story. It's a modern-day twist on a classic tale tonight on CBS. 16-14 Jets. Patriots have it at their own 33. 1st and 10. Patrick pass in motion. Here comes the blitz. They find Patton at the 40. And Patton steps out of bounds at the 45. Once again, we go to Jim Nantz in New York City.
All right, big changes down in Miami, and the mistake here by Brian Griese. He's picked off by Mixon, first career interception, and he'll run it back for the touchdown and the lead with 9:35 to play. 14-10 Dolphins. Let's go back to you, Gus and Brent.
Wow. Turnovers causing Denver some problems. 1st down, 10 at the 45. Play action, Brady firing to Patton, juggles it, and he juggles it out of bounds. Incomplete. Tried to turn it up on Marcus Coleman.
And initially Patton has it, just trying to run too early, and then it's right on his hip, and he says, hey, I can bring this thing in. He eventually gets it, but without getting his feet in. And Gus, we haven't seen David Patton down the sideline. He's not only does he make some big plays, but a lot of pass interference plays against him. It's almost time to turn him loose for the New England Patriots.
He's drawn 5 this year. 2nd and 10 at the 45. Brady tipped at the line of scrimmage. Caught Patton at the 40. A great job to keep his eye on the ball, and it's a gain of 15. 1st down, New England.
Now, you weren't saying it was a great job to keep his eye on the ball the play before.
Because he didn't do a great job.
There you go. Well, he knows he likes these tips. And we've talked about the Jets and how many tips they have. Usually those turn into interceptions. David Patton being right in the right spot. Big play, and I think Marvin Jones thought, this is a gimme. I'm taking this one to the house.
Steve Martin tipped it. 1st down at the Jets 40. Play action, Brady sets up deep, steps up, throws a bullet to Patton. It's a gain of 17.
David Patton versus Marcus Coleman. We've seen a lot of short routes. They're going to go deeper here. Here comes Coleman. Once he turns those shoulders, it's a comeback route. Once those shoulders are turned, you are done. Coleman was thinking it was that go route that we just talked about. David Patton doing a nice job of coming out of his break. When you turn a DB's shoulders, you've got him beat, Gus.
And Tom Brady starting to heat up. 17 of 25, 201 yards. Antoine Smith runs straight ahead. He gets close to the 20. What have the Patriots done? Charlie Weis, the offensive coordinator, they struggled mightily in that first half of play. It's a totally different offense here in the second half.
You just nailed it. Charlie Weis knew that they couldn't pass protect for Tom Brady, so they totally changed their offense. There's Charlie Weis in there, the former Jets coordinator. He says, we're going to go to three-step drops. That's all the Patriots have done because they don't have time to protect Tom Brady dropping back 5 and 7 steps.
2nd and 8 from the 21. There's another short drop. To the sideline. Brown out of bounds.
And guess another three-step drop and looking for Troy Brown. And that's what Charlie Weis has done. They can't protect 5 and 7 step drops. The Jets defensive line, Abraham, Ellis, et al., they are tearing apart this Patriots offensive line. And so you nail it with 3-step drops and you put the ball in the hands of your wide receivers. Now, I don't know if it's the Patriots doing as much. You know, they just throwing the ball 4 and 5 yards. It's more the Jets aren't doing what they have to bring them to the point that they've been so successful, and that's tackle. We saw Fred Coleman go take a 2-yard slant and go down the sidelines. We saw Antoine Smith on a 3-yard crossing route, bust through, miss tackles across the way. That's been the difference here in the second half.
Brady throwing for 52 yards on this drive, and they're a couple of inches short of the first down. Drew Bledsoe on the sideline. He's been a class act. He wants to play, yes, but he said that Tom Brady is the starter. He supports Tom. He's the backup. End of story.
Now, Gus, if you're the Jets right here, you're thinking, here comes Antoine Smith, power running, pound it up inside. But maybe take that chance. Maybe a play-action fake, get those safeties or linebackers to bite. That'd be a big call on the road for this Patriots offense.
Double tight ends at the top of your screen. 3rd and 1. They give it to Edwards, leans forward, and picks up the first down.
And once again, Mark Edwards getting the call. We saw him on the big touchdown, and I think that might have caught the Jets off guard just a little bit. That quick hitter pounding it up in there, and I think he got enough forward momentum to get that first down. And Mark Edwards has to be fired up. Big touchdown, getting a chance to carry the ball. Remember, he fumbled twice the first time these teams played.
And Bill Belichick, in our meetings yesterday, I asked him, does it bother you that you've lost to your former team 3 straight times? And you got to know Coach Belichick. He paused for a second, and he said, it doesn't make me feel happy. And that said a whole heck of a lot. It is really irritating him that he's lost to the team he used to coach.
Well, he's got the first down right there, and he's got to be very fired up. And once again, let's see Mark Edwards on the quick hitter, quick trap. And there's the running right behind big Damian Woody, your center. And here comes your big ton fullback pounding it up in there. And I think the Jets were looking for Antoine Smith.
First downs in the second half, New England with 10. 1st and 10 at the 13. 8th play of the drive that started at the 33. Antoine Smith tackled from behind, and Rick Lyle. And Smith gets to the 9.
Now, the problem with running those 3-step drops that the Patriots have run all the way down the field, as that end zone tightens and you get inside the 15, 10-yard line, those quick hitters aren't as easy to get. The defensive backs are up on the players, tip balls, interceptions happen. So you got to think of other ways to stretch that field. That's where your tight ends and running backs can come into play.
Out of the offset eye, Edwards and Smith. 2nd and 7. Rutledge in motion, play action. Brady dumps it off. Smith stays on his feet and crawls forward and gets inside the 5. James Ferrier chopping him down.
And what amazing balance, Gus, for Antoine Smith. And I actually think the second time his knee actually touched, and I think they're bringing it back just a little bit. Watch this fake play, little fake play action inside, then just quick toss to Antoine Smith, turn around. Marvin Jones is in there. Look at that bounce. And his knee didn't go down that time, but I think he dragged it right there before he moved forward. And that's exactly where they're marking the ball. With that second time where that knee just slid along the ground. Still great balance.
Instead of marking it inside the 5, it's at the 7. 3rd and 4. They need to go to the 3. Quick strike, Brown with the blocker. He won't get there. He does not get there. Mo Lewis preventing him from getting the first down.
And we've talked about the speed of the outside linebackers, Mo Lewis. We've seen this play. It's tough to run that play versus bump and run coverage. There's too much to go through, and you see Mo Lewis come running out and making that play. That's 5 times they've run that play to Troy Brown today.
So a big kick coming up for Adam Vinatieri, who's missed 3 of his last 4 field goal attempts after starting the season connecting on 13 of his first 14. This one from 24 yards out for the lead. Flags everywhere. And the Patriots offense is walking back onto the field. They think it's against the Jets.
And Gus, with half the distance to the goal line, if it's against the Jets, will that give them the first down? It'd be awful close. And I actually think the Jets
illegal snap on the center. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And Gus, when they say illegal snap on the center, that's the old head bob trick. You can't move your head and try to fake the defense.
And Brian Cox is in jeopardy of being penalized here.
And watch the head bob of the center, and watch the Jets all of a sudden go ahead and fly off. And he must have done something, maybe not even his head, maybe twisting the ball with his hands. But Lonnie Paxson did something to draw the Jets off, and the officials right on top of that snap.
So Vinatieri in to attempt a field goal from 29 yards out. They get it down, it's up and good. And with 6:29 to play in the 4th quarter, the Patriots take their first lead of the game, 17-16.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Civic from Honda, with more fun per gallon. Circuit City, we know how you feel, that's why we're here. Circuit City, we're with you. And by Capital One, who asks, what's in your wallet?
Welcome back to Giant Stadium. 6:29 to play in the 4th quarter, and the Patriots are on top of the Jets 17-16. Look at the drive, 11 plays, 57 yards. New England has scored all 17 points on their last 3 drives, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Vinatieri kicks it away. Here's Yeast. And Yeast slammed to the ground by Bucky Jones, a 12-yard return. So with 6:20 to go, Patriots are holding on to a 1-point lead, but Vinny ready to take the field. 17-16. Patriots on top of the Jets. 6:20 to go in the 4th quarter. And the Jets have it 1st and 10 at their own 25. Testaverde looking to the sideline. It's underthrown. Intended for Santana Moss. Now next Sunday, the National Football League on CBS delivers doubleheader excitement. First, the Chargers get after Donovan McNabb and the Eagles, while the Titans go against Randy Moss and the Vikings. And in the late game, many of you will see the Jets take on Cordell Stewart and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Check local listings beginning with Jim Nance and Company on the NFL Today. 2nd down, 10 at the 25. Here's Curtis Martin. And Martin tripped up by Vrabel. What's happened to Vinny Testaverde and this Jets offense in the second half. They looked so good in the first half, over 160 yards, only 4 this half.
Well, the Patriots have adjusted. They've gone back to a little bit more two-deep coverage, playing double zone over the top, kind of shutting down the receivers and going back to, hey, give the ball to Curtis Martin. And we haven't seen that steady dose of Curtis Martin. The Jets haven't been as patient. Also, they haven't thrown the ball downfield like they were early in the first quarter.
Testaverde over the middle, caught Crabette at the 37. In front of Ty Law, a gain of 7. And a first down for the Jets.
And when you need a big play, go to the money man, Wayne Crabette. And I've been saying that. His shoulder doesn't look hurt to me right there. Get him the ball. He's too important to this offense. He's too important to Vinny Testaverde and his psyche moving the ball down the field. He's an emotional lift for this Jets offense.
First down at the 37. Approaching the 5-minute mark. Here's Martin. And Martin slashing. Gets to the 44. Teddy Bruschi with the stop. But it's after a gain of 6.
If you're the Jets, make them stop Curtis Martin. Make them come up and stop him. Make them bring the safeties up. Make Lawyer Malloy come up. Then come back with that play action. Then come back with your speed receivers down the field.
Second down. As you take a look at the time of possession. Testaverde over the middle. Anderson was open. Richie Anderson had gotten by Lawyer Malloy, but Vinny Testaverde puts too much on it.
And I don't think Vinny was getting pressured. If he could have just held on to that ball for one more second, there's nobody back there. Just hang on. Let him fair catch it. You see Lawyer Malloy fall down. Even if he didn't fall down, Richie Anderson had 4 steps on him. That was touchdown.
So that will make it 3rd and 4 at the 43. They need to go to the 47 for a first down. Testaverde in trouble. Fires, caught. Moss. And Moss dives forward. Gets inside New England territory with the first down.
And what a huge catch for the rookie. And a nice pump fake by Vinny Testaverde. Watch him fake the pump, get the safety to jump up. He actually pulls it back down and puts a bullet right into Moss. You see Terrence Shaw diving, taking that shot for the interception. And Santana Moss, that might have been the biggest catch of the day for him.
First down at the New England 49. Here's the pitch to Martin. Gets outside. Martin tackled by Bruschi. Closed on the play nicely. But Curtis Martin gets to the 45. It's a gain of 4. And with 3:20 to go, let's take a look at the timeout situation. New England has 3 remaining. The Jets with 2.
And if you're the Jets, you don't want to give the Patriots the ball back. Just move it down. You've got one of the best field goal kickers, John Hall. Strong leg. Continue this. Heavy dose of Curtis Martin. A little Wayne Crabette. Maybe take a chance with the play action pass across the middle. Just keep the ball rolling.
This drive started at the 25. The pitch. Curtis Martin. And nice tackle. Ty Law. Upending Martin. And with 2:44 to go, that brings up a huge 3rd down and 5.
And that was a huge tackle by Ty Law going against Santana Moss. And one of the things with Santana Moss as a rookie and not having a whole lot of playing time this year from being hurt, he's not used to blocking downfield. And that's one of the things that you have to do with a Curtis Martin in your backfield. You have to be a good blocking wide receiver. That's very important in this offense.
3rd down 5 at the 44. They need to go to the 39 for a first down. They're 7 of 14 on 3rd down conversions. And Vinny does not like what he sees. Change that. It's the Patriots calling a timeout. They have 2 remaining. 2:12 to go. Back after this.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dremel.com, helping you with lots of projects, even finding the perfect holiday gift. Dremel. And by Turning Leaf Wine, handcrafted for perfect moments.
Coming up on the Subway postgame show, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show. 3rd down, 5 from the 44. The 9th play of the drive that started at the New York 25. They need to go to the 39 for a first down. 5 receivers in the game. Empty backfield. There's Corbett in motion. Here's Testaverde under pressure. Running, fires, incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down and a big decision for Herman Edwards. What do you do, Brent?
Well, Gus, you only have a couple timeouts left, and you've got the 2-minute warning. This is clearly 4-down territory. You've got to go for it. The way your defense has been playing, Patriots have been moving the ball. This is your shot. Now, if it was 4th and 14, I wouldn't go for it, but 4th and 4, you're clearly got to take your crack at it.
So on a 4th down, and they need 5 yards, what kind of play do you run?
Well, if they have nobody over the center, I'd run the goose play once again. But you got to look for Wayne Corbett. I think he's the guy in this situation. He's been in that situation so many times and come up big for the Jets.
And the Jets call a timeout with 2:07 to play. They have 1 remaining. New England has 2 timeouts, and the 2-minute warning is coming. So Romeo Crennel looking at his playbook. His team totally different in the second half of play. Crennel is the defensive coordinator, and remember, New England playing without Willie McGinnis, out with a leg injury, without Ted Johnson, out with a knee injury. They've had to really shuffle around the defensive line.
And Gus, in the second half, we haven't seen as many of those slant routes to the wide receivers of the New York Jets. Coles and Moss made some things happen early, but if you're the New York Jets, I think maybe Anthony Beck is the guy to go to in this situation. We've talked about the Patriots having trouble covering the tight end. He's maybe the least likely guy that they would expect right now for the Jets to be looking for on 4th and 4.
So you like Becht?
I like Becht and Corbett. If you can say those 2 things twice fast, you're doing something.
Okay, here we go. Corbett and Becht line up at the top of your screen. Becht is the tight end. Corbett is in the slot. And now a timeout has been called by New England. So a chess game going on in the last 2:07. Herman Edwards, Bill Belichick. Tonight on 60 Minutes, remember when only artists drew profiles, now law enforcement officers draw them too. Is that a good thing? Well, it depends. Tonight on 60 Minutes, followed by Oscar winner Richard Dreyfuss in the new hit series, The Education of Max Bickford. Then, CBS and the Jim Henson Company present a modern-day twist on a classic tale. Matthew Modine leads an all-star cast in Jack and the Beanstalk, The Real Story. Tonight on CBS. And this New England team this season growing by leaps and bounds, 6-5, winners of 5 of their last 7. And this would be a tremendous win on the road against the Jets, winners of 4 in a row. So here we go. 4th down 5. They need to go to the 39. Corbett lines up as the receiver at the bottom of your screen. Beck is the tight end at the bottom of your screen. Here's Testaverde looking over the middle, and it's intercepted. Buckley gets out of bounds at the 33. Second interception of the day for Vinny Testaverde with 2:02 to go.
And guess, right when he broke the huddle, Vinny Testaverde said something to Anthony Beck. That might have alerted the Patriots that it was coming. Watch this, Buckley on back to the corner, and I think Vinny Testaverde just underthrows it, although you see Lawyer Malloy coming over the top. That would have been a tough one to reach in there. Looks like he's throwing it into a little bit of double coverage. You see Malloy coming over, Buckley making the big interception. But I saw when they broke the huddle, Testaverde said something to Beck, and that you don't want to do that because that alerts the defense that, hey, this guy's involved in the route.
So the Patriots take over. Antoine Smith running hard. Ball security very important for the Patriots right now. 1:57 to play, and We are at the 2-minute warning. With the score, New England 17, New York 16. Coming up on the Subway postgame show, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show. 2nd down and 6 at the 37 for the Patriots. Edwards in motion. Here's the toss. Antoine Smith gets around the corner, stays in bounds. And he's about 2 yards short of the first down. And Antoine Smith on the day. His numbers not impressive. 11 carries, 24 yards, has 1 rushing touchdown. And a timeout has been called by the Jets. Their final timeout.
And Gus, although Antoine Smith didn't have a big day running the ball, that big reception running a 3-yard crossing route, then beating the Jets defense down the field for 40 yards. Huge play.
And Tom Brady really solid in the second half after struggling in the first half.
And we had mentioned the big plays. Put the ball in the hands of your receivers. 3-step drops. And here comes Antoine Smith busting it down the sideline. And this Jets team really hasn't tackled well in the second half. And we talked about the total domination on the line of scrimmage. And how do you go ahead and fight that? Charlie Weiss, the second half, has gone to the 3-step drop, run slants, run quick crossing routes, and that's how they've kept this Jets defensive line off his quarterback.
Brady with 160 yards passing in the second half. No timeouts for the Jets, but a very big 3rd and 2. .146 to play in the 4th. Patriots up by a point, a crucial 3rd down and 2. Here's Brady looking for the first down. He will not get it. He does not look to have enough for the first down.
You know, Gus, actually, I think he was leaning pretty good. It depends on that mark. He had that ball up high, and he just has to get just past the 43-yard line. Depending on that mark, we should have a pretty good idea, but he was carrying the ball up high by his shoulder and leaned forward. And off the little naked bent boot, little fake to Kevin Falk, and Tom Brady initially facing some penetration from Lyle, cuts it right up like a running back. Not the fastest guy, little spin move. And you know what, Gus? I think he's going to have it by the length of the football. I don't even think it's close. And if indeed he does get that first down, it's going to be game over.
And he has it. The New England Patriots are celebrating because they're a minute and 31 away from going 7-5 on the season. Bill Belichick, a rare smile, and he's a minute and 31 away from beating his former team for the first time. He's 0-3 against the Jets.
And this Jets team is shocked. They manhandled the Patriots throughout the first half as much as you can. And they felt like it was coming into the second half, hey, we're just going to run out the clock. And the Patriots stepped up, made some big adjustments. Charlie Weiss going to the 3-step drop. Defense starting to make some plays, rallying to the ball. Huge momentum swing.
The Patriots were down 13-0 at one point. And New England now winners of 6 of their last 8. And the standings in the AFC East. Miami winning today, the Jets losing. New England will win to go to 7-5. It's really bunched up at the top in the East. The executive producers of the National Football League on CBS are Sean McManus and Terry Ewert. The coordinating director, Larry Cavallina. Today's game produced by Bob Monsbach, directed by Steve Milton. The senior producer of the NFL Today is Eric Mann, and the director, Bob Matina. Coordinating producer of CBS Sports, Harold Bryant. Sideline producer, Ken Mack. Associate director, Sean Robbins. Peter Radvich. And the broadcast associate, Joel Dukart. Our spotter, Ben Calhoun. Our stat man, Russ Dillon. And that will do it. A huge win for the New England Patriots. Tom Brady came to life in the second half of play. And the Patriots beat the Jets 17-16, snapping New York's 4-game winning streak. So for Brent Jones and Marcus Allen, this is Gus Johnson saying so long from Giant Stadium, where the final once again 17-16. Coming up next, it's the Subway postgame show. You've been watching the National Football League on CBS Sports. Coming up, Jim Nantz right after this.